G'day everyone. So what we've got now, and I'm going to show you how we set these lights up in a second. So this is Ashley. She's going to be the model today, so we're really excited to do that with her. Now, Ashley's got a number of outfits that she's going to use, because the way that this shoot is done is that you have 4 separate shoots that we're going to do with different coloured gels, and then we're actually going to combine those images together to make one sort of long wide image, which should look really good. So we're going to have a look at that shortly, but I wanted to explain first how we set this up. So this is how the shoot is actually going to be, and I'll show it from another angle soon, so you'll see how these lights sort of relate to the model. But basically what I've got here, I've got a wide zoom reflector on this. Now, it wouldn't matter what type of light you're going to use. I'm just using Profoto because that's what I've got. If you had Godox, you would have a similar setup that would work just exactly the same, as long as you can have a nice contrasty look, because you really want to create a shadow on the background, and that's the important thing here, is that we have a shadow that's sort of sitting on the background that's quite hard and distinct, and that's what will make the color. So this one here is the key light, and this is just a wide zoom reflector, so you just have to get a similar reflector. If you didn't have that, you could probably just use it bare, which would also give you a nice hard light as well. So there's multiple reflectors that you could use. I'm just using a wide zoom here because it does sort of throw the light out really wide, and you'll see that sort of look when we turn it around the opposite way. Now in the background here, what I've got is I've got another Profoto light, and like I said, you could just use any light. But it has to be gelled. So this is the light that's going to be gelled, and it's angled at the side of the model, behind the model almost, because you don't want any of that light to hit the model from the front, because it would basically give them the color. At the moment, this has got a blue gel on there, and then you're going to see that this will light up the white paper and it will all become blue, and where the shadows cast from this light, it will turn that shadow into blue instead of being the grey which a normal shadow would look like. And you'll see that when we start to do the shoot itself. I've just got this set up about, I think it was f8, and then I just played around with this background until I got the right look on the background. You can't really measure it accurately with a light meter like I did for the key light. I used the light meter for that. For the background, you have to play around until you get the actual look that you like, so it does take a bit of playing around to get it. Also, the angle of these is also very important. I have got this one up a little bit and raised slightly on the side, so you're going to get a little bit of fall off on the side of the face. This one is just pointing directly at the background. I tried a gel originally, but the gel concentrates the light too much, so I'm not using that gel now. I'm just basically using the flash bare that I'll show you how these attachments connect in a minute. So we'll look at that now. So the thing that you've got to be careful of when you're doing this is that you actually use gels that can take the heat, particularly if you're using normal strobes. They will get very, very hot. So make sure if you do it that you leave enough air to get through behind the gels so they don't melt, or go to, say, a camera store and get ones that are actually designed for that. Now luckily the Profoto ones that I've got are designed for that. They come in a little kit, and you can just choose the color gels that you want to put in. They do have correction gels that you can use, but these ones are just all the color gels that you can actually put on. And I really like them. They have a whole range of different colors that you can use, from reds, greens, blues, oranges, and everything else, purples. So I use that. Now, to connect it onto the actual camera, or to the unit itself, is you just have this little adapter here, and I'll show you in a second. I'll come up a little bit closer. I can probably zoom the video in actually. But all you do is this attaches onto the light, onto the Profoto head unit itself, and then these gels, so I'll take one out and show you. Basically what they do is they just connect, there's sort of like a little point, and I'll show you up close. So these little units, if you notice, they've got like a cutout on the edges there. Well, they fit into this area like that. And then the actual lid, this part, closes down and clips in like this. So then the gels are actually into the actual holder. So that works really good. If you want to, you can also put the grids in there as well, and they'll just sit inside there as well. So if you did want to control the light fall off, you can use that if you wanted to go that way. And then it's just a simple matter of taking this off each time and just changing the gel color to the one that you wanted. And this part just sits on the front of the actual light. I noticed Godox, the new HD 400, has some of these attachments that I saw as well. So you can go that way. If you don't have a system like this, you can actually use, like I said, gels from shops or places like that. If you went to a camera store, you'd be able to get gels. But like I said, just be careful using ones that you can just get out of a normal $2 shop or whatever. They probably will melt because they do get very hot, so you do have to buy special ones. These ones are designed specifically for the B1s, which are the battery mounted flashes. If I put these on my studio strobes, they would melt probably because they're so hot. And so they're only designed for the B1, which runs much cooler. So you do have to be careful about that. And so that's how that system works. And I really love it. It's such a great system. But like I said, you don't have to have Profoto. You can use any Godox lights or whatever you wanted to use, and the system will be exactly the same. So what I've done is you'll notice that I've got a light which is here. Now I'm going to move that around so that you can see what happens to the shadow with Ashley from behind. So you can see at the moment, if we look, the shadow is being cast directly down here, and that's what I want. Now, even though this is white paper, the light that's over there to Ashley's right, the Profoto has a blue gel on it because we're going to do blue to start with. And that will create, this shadow will turn blue and the background will also turn blue as well. This light at the front here is the key light, which is just going to give Ashley the correct color. So she's standing ahead of the blue light, which is on that side. So that light won't contaminate Ashley at all. The light will be daylight balanced from the light that's in the front. So that will basically give Ashley the correct color from the front. And this should turn in a lovely blue color. And we'll probably just try a few different poses that Ashley can just try a few different things. You want a bit of movement when you're doing it to make it look a bit dynamic. And we'll just see how that goes. So this one here I think was shot at f8. So that's set at f8 with a light meter. And the one at the back there I just adjusted until I got the correct tone in the background that I liked. Ashley is going to change outfits, so we'll do a few in this outfit and then we'll obviously change for the next filter color. I think she's chosen yellow, green and red as the other colors, and plus this one as being blue. So that's the way the setup actually works. Now to show you how the shadow changes, if you look at Ashley's shadow there, if I move this up and down, you'll see that the shadow actually changes location. So it's really just trial and error to get that shadow to look right and also to be far enough away from Ashley as well. It also depends too where I stand, how the actual image looks. Now, gear-wise, I'm going to be using the Sony a7iii, and I'm using the 35mm lens on here, the f1.4 lens. Like I said, I've got the settings set at 1/25th of a second. Actually, it's 6.3. I think we ended up working it out to at the end in ISO 100. So I'll take a test shot and we'll just have a look at that. So let me just do a test and I'll show you what this looks like. And I think it's pretty good. Yep. And I might just turn this up just a fraction, just have a look at that and just see. Yeah, that's perfect now. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like. There, so you'll see the result that I'm getting if I can get it in focus. There we go. So you'll see how the background lights up blue and Ashley there is exposed correctly. So that's basically what it does. Yeah, all right. All right, so just do a few different movements. It's more, now I'm only going to photograph from down, probably just down to about there and up. So it's not going to be full body, all right? But just if you can, I'll probably crop it a little bit though. So just start moving around and I'm just going to keep taking shots and we'll find one that we like. I'm feeling tired, sticking around while you were gone. You don't deny it. You took me for granted for too long. Okay, so I hope you liked looking at those images. So I'm really happy with the way that they came out actually looking at the screen. We have chosen the ones that we liked and you'll see that image actually at the end now. So we'll show you that where they're all four put together and I'll have a look at that now. Okay, so let me know what you think about that. It was a real great fun shoot. They are really high contrasty images that have to have sort of movement in them. If you can, please subscribe if you haven't and give me a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And we'll see you all again soon for the next shoot. Bye for now.